Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
So our first question for you is, do you support the Board of Finance vote against a 504 Mill Hill? How do you see that decision affecting education capacity issues in town, and what is your plan to ensure all programs in Fairfield Public Schools have the capacity and resources they need?
Well, I did vote ultimately for the 441 because that was what was on the table. But I really do wish that instead I was able to support a 504. Investing in education and our students is an investment in our values. It's an investment in our future. Schools are the number one reason people move to Fairfield. So there's an economic reason to support the schools. But in terms of the 504 capacity, that's a standard. I mean, to have equity across the schools for one, to have flex space in times of population decline, for example, and to be able to support the programs for kids with special needs, social emotional space, when there is, again, times when there's less of a population, when the population is higher, then you're able to flex into that space as well. And then when you talk about kids' safety, while I'm proud to have supported $7 million towards safety in school security, the true way to keep kids safe is to have smaller class size. There is a proven impact of that, and the best way to ensure that is to have more capacity. So the 504 would have supported that, so that kids can have meaningful relationships with adults, and the best way to achieve that is in small class size. So that's just one of the many reasons, and again, equity across the schools. And finally, we voted for, the Board of Finance had voted for a $22 million project, which is actually going to make the school smaller in the end. And so that was really short-sighted, penny wise, pound foolish. So for those reasons and more, I really wish I had voted for the 504, had been able to vote for a 504 school. I hope that answers your question.
What are you going to do to keep anti-Semitic acts and gun violence out of Fairfield?
Well, two very important issues to me. I think that in terms of the gun violence prevention, that's how I got started in politics, really, as an activist on the issue of gun violence prevention. The health, safety, and well-being of kids is my obsession. It started after the shooting at the Sandy Hook School. It ignited my fire as an activist. I created a grassroots movement called the March for Change, working with Connecticut Against Gun Violence, of which I'm a board member. And we were able to pass the strongest package of gun violence prevention legislation in the country. So Connecticut is safe in terms of our gun laws. But one of the biggest things that we can do to ensure kids' health and safety at school is really provide mental health support to the teachers, making sure that we're providing enough in terms of social workers and psychologists. There's a 10% increase in school visits for mental health, school visits to the nurse for mental health purposes. And I think we really need to be paying attention to that. I do think police presence at school, just so again, a trusted adult. I go back to this idea of smaller classes and having meaningful relationships with adults. That's another way. And then in terms of, you asked specifically about the anti-Semitic piece, I think words matter, language matters. We have to teach each other about kindness and civility and bringing that back and really making sure that as adults we are an example. There's political polarization. It's not only weakening our ability to be effective, it's really having an impact on the way kids treat each other because they're hearing the way adults talk to each other. And so the first thing that we can do is really check ourselves. So I hope those are just some of the ways that we can help make you feel safe at school and safe here in town.
Thank you.
Are you in favor of expanding senior tax relief, Nancy?
I am in favor of expanding senior tax relief. I think you can tell a lot about a community by the way we treat our seniors, and we have to do more. And I think senior tax relief is the very least of what we should be doing. It's something that I've tried to support on the RTM that we have brought up over many months. It's gotten stuck in a political quagmire, quite frankly, and that needs to stop because what we are doing is playing with people's lives. It's a lot of reasons that we need to do it. Seniors that I've talked to, and I've knocked on thousands of doors and talked with hundreds of seniors, and their biggest concern is their ability to stay here. And tax relief would help with that, and there's small things that we can do. And it's getting caught up, as I said, in some politics. So there's a line from an Emily Dickinson poem that I love. I dwell in possibility. I'm a perennial optimist. I see opportunities where others only see obstacles. And it's this belief in possibility that allows me to be an effective, collaborative, and creative problem solver and to get things done. I identify issues and then try to understand them from multiple perspectives. I build consensus and then formulate a plan of action. And I don't stop until there are results. This has been my life's work. A senior vice president of a major media company with 25 years experience overseeing multi-million-dollar budgets and managing huge teams of people, as a board member of Connecticut Against Gun Violence, as a founding member of Time's Up, working to eliminate issues of equity, safety, and parity in the workspace for women, and as the first Democrat elected to the RTM on District 1. I'm also a homeowner, a taxpayer, and the mother of 3 school-aged children. My commitment to ensuring the health, safety, and well-being of this community is deep-seated and profound. I want to continue to create change that will have a positive impact for all of us. I want to create more opportunities for connection and communication and community engagement. I want to solve problems, not win debates. I want to have an imprint on who we are as a community by investing in our schools, our seniors, the environment, the strategic growth of our commercial brand list, the arts, civil rights, and the diverse voices here. I will do so with kindness and consideration and transparency. It seems there's actually a lot we agree on, so it's not necessarily the what of it all that I would ask, it's the why and the how and who. In 2 weeks, you will have the opportunity to choose leaders who best represent your values, your approach, your preferred style and method, and I hope one of those choices you make is me.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
I'm Nancy Lefkowitz, and I approve this message.